Ukraine's defense minister has said that he had a frank discussion with his German counterpart about German Leopard 2 tanks.
The Ukrainian capital, Kyiv, has been hit by a missile attack.
When Western tank designers sat in climate-controlled engineering labs in Stuttgart, Detroit, and Leeds, drawing up the Leopard 2, M1 Abrams, and Challenger 2, they envisioned mobile breakthrough warfare across European plains, massed armor formations punching through Soviet defensive lines, tank-on-tank duels at 2,000 meters, combined arms offensives where infantry supported tanks, not the other way around. They did not envision tanks hiding in barns. They did not envision inflatable decoys wasting millions in enemy munitions. They did not envision 70-ton machines used as mobile fortresses drawing drone fire while BMPs executed actual assaults. But after losing over 1,200 tanks since February 2022, 859 destroyed, 79 damaged, 98 abandoned, 146 captured, according to Oryx visual confirmation, Ukrainian tankers stopped following NATO doctrine and started writing their own. Western tanks designed for Cold War scenarios are now fighting 21st century drone-saturated warfare through tactics that would make Rommel scratch his head and Pentagon planners simultaneously horrified and impressed. Concealment over mobility, ambush over breakthrough, decoys over armor, survival through adaptation. This isn't failure. This is the brutal, beautiful process of battlefield innovation, forcing doctrine to evolve faster than defense contractors can update PowerPoint presentations. And NATO is learning more from Ukraine's improvisation than from 40 years of peacetime R&D. If you want to see how real war forces military innovation no training manual can predict, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This is doctrine being rewritten under fire. Let's start with why Western tanks arrived with instructions nobody could follow. When 31 M1A1 Abrams arrived in September 2023, 14 Challenger 2s landed in March 2023, and over 100 Leopard 2s from multiple nations deployed through 2023, NATO training emphasized breakthrough operations. According to Breaking Defense Analysis, modern Soviet-derived designs weigh 38 to 48 metric tons, armed with 125mm smoothbore cannons. Western tanks weigh 60 to 70 tons with 120mm guns, superior optics, and crew survivability systems. The assumption: technological superiority plus NATO doctrine equals battlefield dominance. Ukrainian crews trained at Grafenwohr in Germany, Fort Benning in Georgia, and British facilities learning maneuver warfare. Tank companies leading assaults supported by mechanized infantry, exploiting breakthroughs with speed, conducting mobile defense when necessary. The 2023 Robotyno counteroffensive tested this doctrine catastrophically. Leopard 2s led assaults according to NATO manuals, and Russian Ka-52 helicopters, Kornet anti-tank missiles, artillery barrages, and swarms of FPV drones destroyed them in terrifying numbers. According to National Security Journal reporting from August 2025, only 4 of 31 M1A1 Abrams remained operational by June 2025. The Challenger 2 suffered similar losses, tied with Abrams for one of the least effective Western tanks in the entire war, based on survival rates. The problem wasn't the tanks. German engineers designed world-class armor, American engineers created cutting-edge fire control, British engineers built exceptional accuracy. The problem was doctrine written for Cold War battlefields where drones didn't exist, where artillery couldn't track every movement through ubiquitous surveillance, where mines were obstacles, not ubiquitous area denial weapons. According to Forbes reporting from May 2025, after losing 1,000 plus tanks, Ukrainian forces underwent major tactical overhaul. The new reality: tank crews must remain extremely cautious, concealing vehicles in barns, garages, or specialized bunkers, emerging only briefly to strike before rapidly retreating to cover. This is the opposite of NATO doctrine. This is survival doctrine written in blood. The American M1A1 Abrams was designed as a Cold War spearhead, leading armored thrusts, engaging Soviet T-72s in open terrain, exploiting breakthroughs with 42 miles per hour top speed and 1,500 horsepower turbine engines. Ukrainian tankers threw that manual away. By December 2025, when 49 Australian M1A1s reinforced earlier American deliveries, Ukrainian doctrine had crystallized around shield and hammer tactics. Abrams tanks roll forward, drawing Russian drone attention, suppressing firing points with 120mm main gunfire, absorbing punishment while infantry carrying BMPs advance under their cover. According to Euromaidan Press analysis of Pokrovsk operations, the primary task of the tanks was to suppress Russian firing points, draw enemy drone attention, and create corridors for Ukrainian BMPs to advance. This inverts American combined arms doctrine, where tanks lead and infantry supports. Ukrainian doctrine makes tanks support, specifically heavily armored bullet magnets drawing expensive anti-tank missiles away from vulnerable infantry. The genius. One Abrams draws 10 Cornet missiles, $30,000 to $40,000 each. That same Abrams, thanks to field-modified ERA blocks, anti-drone jammers, and additional armor plates Ukrainian mechanics welded on, often survives those hits. Crew survival rates approached 100% even when tanks were destroyed, thanks to separated ammunition storage and crew compartment protection NATO engineers built in. According to 1945 military analysis, this employment helped achieve strategic gains by exploiting weaker enemy defenses during Ukraine's Kursk offensive. The August 2024 incursion, first foreign control of Russian territory since World War II, succeeded partly because Abrams identified weak points, then acted as mobile fortresses, enabling infantry assaults. German Leopard 2 designers envisioned panzer divisions conducting maneuver warfare across German countryside, countering Warsaw Pact mechanized assaults through superior optics, stabilization, and fire-on-the-move capability. Ukrainian crews turned them into ambush predators that emerge from concealment, strike with surgical precision, then vanish before Russian artillery responds. The May 2025 Pokrovsk engagement exemplifies perfected doctrine. A Russian column, 5 turtle tanks covered in improvised cage armor, accompanied by BMPs, advanced through settlement, thinking cages protected them from Ukrainian drones. According to National Security Journal reporting, a Ukrainian Leopard 2 from the 33rd Separate Mechanized Brigade sat concealed inside a building, using the structure itself for cover, thermal optics tracking the column as it entered the kill zone. The Leopard emerged for maybe 90 seconds. Precision shots destroyed 5 armored vehicles, including multiple turtle tanks. Some were hit multiple times, resulting in the destruction of the entire column, according to OSUV Kortitsia telegram. Then the Leopard disappeared back into concealment before Russian counter battery could respond. This isn't breakthrough warfare. This is apex predator tactics: concealment, patience, overwhelming violence, immediate withdrawal. According to Forbes analysis, Ukrainian Leopard doctrine emphasizes concealing vehicles in barns, garages, or specialized bunkers, because Russian drone surveillance numbers 1,300 to 2,000 monthly, often deployed in swarms with decoys overwhelming Ukrainian air defenses. British Challenger 2 designers built what the Ministry of Defense proudly called sniper rifles. 120mm rifled guns providing extraordinary accuracy at extreme range. Ukrainian crews confirmed this during training. The accuracy was indeed exceptional. Then, reality hit. Sniper rifles don't help when Russian drones swarm from every direction. By June 2025, according to National Security Journal, only limited Challenger 2s remained operational from the original 14-tank delivery, roughly similar catastrophic loss rates as Abrams. But surviving Challenger crews adapted. Commander Hera from the 82nd Air Assault Brigade described the evolution, treating the Challenger really like a sniper rifle, strike enemy targets at long distances, fire calmly from cover, and then pull back. The 5,300-meter kill Hera's crew achieved, destroying a Russian BMP from over 3 miles away, validated the sniper concept. But that was the exception. Most Challenger employment shifted to defensive ambushes. Position in concealed locations, use superior optics to identify targets first, engage with precision fire, withdraw before Russian drones locate the firing position. According to crew interviews, the rifled 120mm L30A1 gun, unique among NATO tanks which use smoothbore, provides accuracy advantages at extreme range, but requires specialized ammunition not shared with Leopards or Abrams. This created logistics nightmares. Ukrainian crews adapted by using Challengers specifically for long-range precision strikes where rifled accuracy matters, while using more numerous Leopards and Abrams for closer ambush operations. But perhaps the most genuinely revolutionary innovation nobody planned? Inflatable decoys so sophisticated they mimic thermal signatures, radar reflections, and visual profiles convincingly enough that Russian forces waste millions, destroying targets worth $1,500. According to Bulgarian military reporting from January 2025, Ukrainian company Inflatable, originally making toys and custom models, transformed production to create military-grade decoys. The strategic effect? Reports indicate that Russian forces have sometimes destroyed 140% more HIMARS than Ukraine has received, meaning Russian generals claim destroying more American rocket systems than America ever delivered because they're shooting at inflatable balloons while real HIMARS hide elsewhere. For Western tanks, this creates impossible tactical problems for Russian forces. When a Russian Iskander ballistic missile, $3 million, destroys what reconnaissance drones identified as a Leopard 2A6, but was actually an inflatable mock-up, $1,500, Ukraine achieves 2,999 to 1 cost exchange ratios. According to defense analysis, these decoys contribute to information warfare, creating confusion that affects enemy strategic planning and operational decisions. If Russian commanders believe they've destroyed 50 Western tanks, but Ukraine still has 100 operational, Russian tactical planning collapses. They allocate insufficient anti-tank resources, underestimate Ukrainian armored capabilities, and walk into ambushes thinking Ukrainian tank forces are depleted. Western defense officials initially feared Ukrainian crews couldn't maintain complex NATO platforms. The M1 Abrams burns jet fuel at 0.6 miles per gallon. Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense Laura Cooper warned, the Abrams tank, in addition to being a gas guzzler, is quite challenging to maintain. The Leopard 2 requires specialized tools, training, computerized diagnostics. Challenger 2's rifled gun needs unique barrel maintenance. Ukrainian mechanics proved everyone wrong. According to sustained operations reports from Pokrovsk and Kursk, Ukrainian forces maintain Leopards, Abrams, and Challengers in forward positions, not shipping damaged tanks to Poland or Germany for repairs, but fixing them locally using improvised workshops, captured tools, and mechanics who learned complex systems through necessity rather than formal training. The 425th Regiment Scala, deploying Australian Abrams immediately upon delivery in December 2025, proves logistics work. According to Euromaidan Press, great logistics and on-the-road preparations allowed Ukrainians to avoid any delay and start using devastating firepower immediately. Most nations take months integrating new platforms. Ukrainian crews went from delivery to combat in weeks. So why is Ukraine using Western tanks in ways nobody planned? Because nobody planned for drone-saturated warfare where every tank movement gets tracked, where $500 FPV kamikazes hunt $8 million Leopards, where Russian artillery responds within minutes to any exposed position, where mines cover approach routes so densely that breakthrough operations become suicide. NATO doctrine assumed air superiority, assumed suppressed enemy artillery, assumed reconnaissance advantages, assumed breakthrough opportunities. Ukraine operates without air superiority, under constant artillery threat, facing surveillance disadvantages, rarely finding breakthrough opportunities. The adaptation, concealment-based ambush warfare, decoys wasting Russian munitions, shield and hammer tactics protecting infantry, field maintenance sustaining operations, and complete abandonment of NATO breakthrough doctrine in favor of survival-focused defensive operations. This isn't failure. This is the brutal honesty of real war forcing adaptation, and it's working. According to Commander-in-Chief Syrskyi, Ukrainian forces hit 1,159 Russian tanks and 2,500 plus armored vehicles in 2025 alone, despite operating under impossible disadvantages. Western tanks aren't performing as designed. They're performing better because Ukrainian tankers abandoned the design manual and wrote a new one in blood and diesel smoke. Do you think Ukraine's improvised tank doctrine will become the new NATO standard? Share your thoughts in the comments. For more analysis on battlefield innovation forcing military evolution, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching.